Hey guys, get ready with me. So I did already wash my face and put some lotion on the skin before I got the hose again. But anyway, today I want to talk about my mom. And that's just because of the outfit that I'm wearing. It's a little revealing, more so than what I would normally wear. Normally, like 99% of the time, I don't show any titty at all. And as a kid growing up, I'm gonna show you the outfit. But as a kid growing up, my outfits were considerably more modest than they even are now. I didn't own like booty shorts or anything like that. In my PE class, I wore a really big shirt and boy shorts. So if that tells you anything, it was weird. And then I think back and wonder why everybody thought I was lesbian. Which, look, I don't hate lesbians, right? I love me a lesbian. I love me a gay guy, right? So now it's like it's just funny, but at the time, it hurt my feelings, that everybody thought I was lesbian. Now I just think it's funny because it makes sense based off of like what I was wearing, I guess. Anyway, so my mom used to tell me, she goes, "If you got it, flaunt it," and she would encourage me to buy tight and revealing clothing with my money, which as a teenager, by the way, yes, I did work 2 jobs. It's pretty much been my entire existence. But anyway, so she would encourage me to buy tight and revealing clothing, but at the same time, if I would wear just like a tank top and shorts, and keep in mind, I didn't have booty shorts, okay? Just a tank top and shorts. She would be the first one to call me a slut and whatever. And, this was very inconsistent, my mom. I have a complicated relationship with my mom. I feel like over time, there's a lot that I like overlook and forgive, but sometimes my mom still like thinks that she's right all the time. And I'm like, Mom, you're literally 99% of the reason for my trauma. I'm gonna need you to calm down. I don't know. But it was like she's human too. And I think that's what I have to remember is that, it's that saying that I see online all the time. It's her first time on this earth too. She's going to make her own mistakes. And she has her own set of trauma and things like that that affected her parenting, right? And while I disagree with it, and I definitely don't think that she should ever be around kids alone for an extended period of time, it is, for the most part, behind me, if you will. And that's why I'm like so open with talking about that. There are other things in my life that I don't talk about, right? Things that happened that I played a part of because I very much had the choice, right? That's one thing that I didn't have as a kid is you don't get a choice in how you're treated. You're just treated poorly. As an adult, you get a choice, right? So there are things that's happened since being a child that I still blame myself for, regardless of the fact, like, whether or not they are mostly my fault, I still blame myself for a lot of it. And I feel like that's okay. I feel like that's a natural thing to do. But because of that, it just has taken longer to get over it, if you will. I feel like getting over my childhood was a fairly simple process, and then it was more along the lines of, okay, I know that I have trauma, I know that I have trauma triggers, I know that I have like these toxic traits. Because of that trauma, what can I do to fix it? As opposed to like still being upset over different things, if that makes any sense, or still being triggered by certain things or whatever. It's just a matter of trying to find like little ways that affected me and trying to fix that, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. That sounds very contradictory in and of itself, but we won't talk about it. Anyway, I'll show you guys some of the jewelry that I'm about to put on. Of course, I put on this little bow. I love bows. I don't know. My friend, this is a belt, which I've been told this is a sex belt, but I like to pretend that it's not and just wear it as a belt. I don't know. I don't care. But anyway, it's not like, why would you have sex with this on? I don't know. I don't kink shame though. Like, do you, boo. Whatever you want to do. But I just like it as a belt. It was very cute. It's hearts and like little rhinestones and love it. Anyway, so my friend has this property, right, that they bought. And they bought it with 2 abandoned houses on it. Okay? And these 2 abandoned houses were pretty run down. But one of them, like, you could still fully walk upstairs and all that jazz. And in the upstairs bedroom, they had, like, a bunch of bows and hair things and headbands and things like that. Right? Well, headbands, like, and I don't think you can really save those. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't see any saving the headband. But the bows, I was like, let me save the bows. I was like, please. And he was like, yeah, so like, I don't care, go ahead. I'm like, I'm just going to throw it all away anyway. Because his intention was to demolish the house. Cool. I got free bows, y'all. This is a really cute watch. It doesn't work anymore, obviously. I could just put a battery in it, but it's just for looks. It's like, yeah, I can read a watch. I know some people can't, and that trips me out. Between cursive and being able to read a watch, it's like those are just basics that everybody should know, but what do I know? I feel like technology has made us considerably lazier as a society. People don't know how to spell anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if people don't know how to spell. People don't know how to freaking write cursive. Nobody cares. They don't know how to read a clock. Nobody cares. Cool. It bothers me. It bothers me. But anyway, so I don't remember what I was saying about the bows, but I just took a bunch of bows and I saved some of them, and some of them were just too far gone. But yeah, and some of them, like, I still have a few that I kept the original clasps to. I just put them through a really good bath, you know, and those clasps are like slowly breaking on me, so I need to get some more clasps and redo it. But for the most part, I still have most of them. And then over time, I just started getting more bows from, like, there's this really cool store called Pop Shelf. Oh my gosh, that was a good store. They went out of business, but it was like a girly version of Five Below. So cheap, but they had like everything, and like I said, very girly. All the cards were purple, everything was purple. I got my pink keyboard there. Like, they had a bunch of pink versions of things, and your girl is extra. And I do like, if I can buy it in pink at the same price, I'm gonna buy it in pink. Why would I not? You know what I mean? Like, why would I not? So I like that it was both cheap and girly. Now I just gotta settle for Five Below, even though their stuff is not girly. I'm not a huge fan of Five Below, I'm not gonna lie. Because a lot of their stuff, I feel like, just breaks as soon as I buy it. And it's annoying. So, yeah. I don't really go there very often. Unless I'm getting, like, this is gonna sound crazy, but unless I'm getting, like, toys for kids or something. You know, because listen, kids, like, their stuff's gonna break in 5 minutes anyway. Might as well buy the cheap stuff. I'm just saying. That's terrible. I'm terrible. What can I say? But I will say, though, I did buy, like, a dollhouse from Five Below. No, I don't have dolls. I had to say that in my last video, too. But I did buy a dollhouse from Five Below for, like, 25 bucks. I bought 2. The first one that I bought came broken. It came broken, right? So I was like, can I please trade this out, you know? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, I have no hope for this next one. But the next one, like, wasn't broken, obviously. Put it together and it's lasted for several months. So, happy with that. Happy with my purchase. But for the most part, I avoid Five Below like the plague. Your girl prefers Dollar Tree. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love me some Dollar Tree. It's annoying as shit that the prices keep going up, but I do love me some Dollar Tree. It wasn't worth $1. Most of it wasn't worth $1 when they went up the first time. Like, it's like, come on. You gotta be choosy with Dollar Tree. But I feel the same way about some of the other outlet stores like Ross and Gabe's and TJ Maxx or whatever. Like, you gotta be super choosy. But for the most part, I don't really go to those stores. And I go on to, I'll look around. I'll do my little looky-loo, okay? Because I like to window shop. But you girls too cheap to actually spend money on things. I'm not gonna lie to you. But anyway, so back on the subject at hand. My mom, she's an interesting cat, okay? She was my first indication that love equates to inconsistency, right? And again, there's like a bunch of little things that I learn about myself all the time that like then, well, I tie them into my childhood on my own. That's what I like about my therapist. She's never like, what do you think caused this? Why do you feel that way? How does that make you feel? No, she's always like, just listens to whatever I have to say, and then she'll pause me and she'll be like, this way of thinking is a problem. Let's fix it. You know? And then if I ask her, and I'm like, well, where does this even stem from? Right? Then she'll help me explain it. So my mom, in particular, I remember, I've shared this before, but I remember I was talking to my therapist about my mom coming over for Christmas. And I was like, you know what? I just don't want her over. I was like, and I don't know how to tell her that. Because I don't want her to be pissed off at me. Like, she's fucking scary. You know? I was like 25 at the time. And I was like, she still scares me. All right, what can I say? I don't want to be like, please don't come over. I don't want you there. You know? But at the same time, here's the thing. Like, she'll come over. She'll bring her husband. Or she'll spend it without her husband. Right? And her husband, they've been married for like, what, 4 years now? I don't know. That's a long time. 3 or 4 years. It's a long time for her. He's husband number 5, I think. Is that number 5 or number 6? I can't remember. Let's see. There was my dad. There was Lucas's dad. Lucas is my little brother. Love him. There was another Robert. She married like 3 Roberts, guys. There's another Robert. And then there was this guy. So yeah, 5. Okay. Right, no big deal. But I can't fault her for marrying 3 Roberts. It's like, you get that one name that you just can't stay away from. I don't know. Does anybody else have a problem? No? Alright, never mind. But anyway. So, she just has this thing. And she's had this thing since we were growing up. Where, like, she just doesn't allow men around her daughters. Which I thought was fucking weird. I was like, why in the fuck? Like, why is she, like, why? Why does that even exist? You know? Never have we ever been like, oh, we want to fuck you, daddy. You know, that's fucking gross. It's gross. It's a gross concept. It's disgusting to think about. It's disgusting to think that she has the mindset that maybe something like that would happen. Right? And so, I'm like tripping out, telling my therapist, I'm like, what is in her head? Like, what's going on in there to where she's so insecure that literally, if I ever go visit her, her man cannot be in the same room as me. She will get mad at him. She will, like, be pissed. Okay? He gets scared. He will literally, if I go into a room, he's walking out of it before I come in the room. He knows I'm walking towards the room. He gonna walk out of it, walk into a different room. That's how bad it is. And that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, she's dated guys, literally, like, as a teenager, if she had a guy over and I weren't in my room, I better be out of the fucking house, okay? Or I was getting in trouble, right? Or I was gonna get beat, okay? So can't be around it. Never made any sense to me. My therapist was like, was your mom ever sexually assaulted? And I was like, yeah, she told me that her, well, am I sharing too much about my mom? Oh well. Anyway. Sorry, Mom. I love you though. This is terrible. Should I post this? I don't know. But we're gonna do it anyway. Anyway. So she goes, was your mom sexually assaulted? And I was like, yeah, she told me that her dad would molest her. You know? And she told me that after I was molested by my grandma. So, which my grandpa, her dad was already dead. so I never had to experience that. But like my mom said that she was worried about it, blah blah blah, whatever, because of what her dad did. I don't know. Anyway, so I was like, yeah, she told me that her dad molested her, and she goes, she blames herself. She goes, that's why she's so insecure. She probably doesn't even realize that she's doing it, you know, but she blames herself for what her dad did to her, and she hasn't healed from that, right? So that's why she gets all insecure and whatever when you get around her partner, right? Because she doesn't want something like that happening to you. And I was like, okay, well, I guess in a convoluted way it makes kind of sense, but like, why can't she fix that about herself? Why can't she do that for me? Why can't she go to therapy for me? Because this is a problem and it affects our life. Like, I can't even be a part of her life in that manner, and he can't be a part of her life in that manner because of that roadblock that she puts up, right? And she goes, once again, she probably doesn't realize she's doing it. People won't accept help if they don't think they need it, you know? And she's like, so you can either decide, like, do you want to have that hard conversation with your mom? You know, or are you okay with that going on, right? And she goes, if we want people in our lives, we have to decide what we're okay with. And I was like, you haven't met my mom. Like, she would never be comfortable with that. Like, she would never be open to talking like that, you know? I was like, we can't have a heart-to-heart like that. She's going to get so offended the first time anything comes out of her mouth that's negative towards her, right? She's going to take it, like, way the wrong way and feel so attacked and just, you know, recluse. And my therapist was like, then you got to deal with it. She goes, if you want your mom in your life and you know this is one of her personality traits, you got to accept it. She goes, if you want to put up boundaries and you don't want to see her for Christmas because of that, tell her that you don't want to see her for Christmas, right? She's like, you don't have to. You don't have to see her for Christmas to have her in your life. You can have those boundaries and you can say, you know what, Mom, I don't want to see you all the time, right? And you know that it's because this thing bothers you. But if you don't want to have that conversation with your mom, don't. That trait is always going to be there, though. She's like, you can't change her. You have to accept it. Right? And all of that made sense. Okay? And I love my mom, right? And at the end of the day, no matter what she did to us, she's still my mom. And sometimes a girl just needs her mom. And sometimes when I need my mom, it's just a big disappointment. I'm not going to lie to you. That's terrible. That sounds awful. But it's true, right? But sometimes I just need somebody to be supportive and to listen and to be there for me on my side no matter what. And my mom will stab me in the back, right? Pretend like she's on my side. Or maybe, like, if she even pretends, right? Then she'll pretend like she's on my side. And all of a sudden, she's going to the other side of the scenario and playing the other side. Or she's going to play devil's advocate trying to teach me some fucking lesson, right? And it hurts my feelings. I'm like, Mom, I just need you to be a mom first. I just need you to care. I just need you to give a shit. I just need you to listen. Don't fix it. I don't need it fixed. I don't want it fixed. You can't fix it. And like I said, sometimes she'll try to fix it for the other side because it's better for me. Or whatever the fuck. Like, and sometimes she's just fucking wrong. Okay? I could give you so many examples, but I guess I'll give you a small one right now. Okay? Prom. Okay, prom. Right? My best friend and I had this idea that our prom we were going to spend together, our junior prom. At my school, you only got a junior prom and a senior prom. You had to work for your junior prom. You had to, like, volunteer at concession stands and blah, 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 and you had to do so many hours before you could go to it. And even if you got invited as a junior, you still had to do those hours or you weren't able to go, right? So, me and my best friend, we did the hours, we did the thing, but she just happened to obtain a boyfriend around the same time, and we had a plan before that, like, we had planned it all the way since middle school, our junior prom, right? And, like, we had it down to the day, a whole map of everything we were going to do. Well, last minute those plans changed because she had a boyfriend, right? I didn't like that, right? And I was over here like, why would you do that to me? Blah blah blah, you know, whatever. Like, dang it. But then I decided to for the most part, get over it because I also had a date. Was it my boyfriend? Absolutely not. That's what kills me. That's so funny. People will look on my Facebook. Like people that I meet like to look at my Facebook, right? And it has like, you know how it has like photos of Autumn, you know, whatever. And then it has like Autumn's mobile uploads and then whatever. Well, the photos of Autumn, 200, 300 photos of my prom because both my mom and my sister were like snapping photos left and right. And my mom thought it'd be cool. There's another part where she was just fucking wrong. She thought it'd be funny to like pose me and this guy that I went with as a couple in like loving stances, and it was annoying and frustrating when I did it for my mom. I didn't think she was gonna post it to Facebook and, you know, tag me and all of them. I didn't think so. But for the most part, I just haven't taken them down because I don't care, right? Other people see it and think that that's my ex-husband. It's so fucking funny. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. I'm terrible. But listen, this guy that I went with because he's a good friend of mine. He's heavily on the spectrum. Okay? Heavily on the spectrum. Like, cannot live on his own on the spectrum. Okay? And that's why it's funny. Because, first, I don't know. It's not like offensive. He's like, obviously I like him. You know, he's a great person. I would never marry somebody like that. I feel like that's borderline. I don't know. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. It's like manipulative. I don't know. Like, why would I feel like I'd be using him if I was in any kind of romantic relationship because he just can't reciprocate the same way. Right? He doesn't feel the feelings the way that I would, which I wouldn't for him. I don't know. Anyway, so that's why I think it's funny. It's not like offensive to me. It's not offensive to him. At least, so like I've told him about it before. He thought it was funny. So as far as I know, like it's not offensive to either one of us. But it's just funny, right? Well, anyway, I went off on another rabbit hole there. But basically, what I was saying is, like, my mom was making the prom ordeal like a romantic thing about me and him, and I told her like that I was bummed that Caitlin wasn't there, but I still wanted to make it a good day for myself, right? And that's the conclusion that I came to. I was like, I'm bummed, but I still want to make it a good day for myself. Like, my mom's there with me. My sister came over, and my sister was homeless at the time, but she still made the effort to be there and like be supportive and whatever. You know, I was like, this is gonna be a good day regardless. And then it should have been that, but my mom decided to make a scene, right? A fucking scene, all right, to my best friend, and like just bitch at her and yell at her and whatever. And I was like, Mom, it's fine. Like, she's having her day. I just want her to have her day, you know, right? I was like, we have prom next year. We can plan it better now that she has a boyfriend, like whatever. Like, just leave it alone, okay? So she leaves it alone. This is what I mean by, like, she plays both sides. She leaves it alone. She plays nice and nice, okay? And then we get to the fucking restaurant, right? We're all at the restaurant, okay? And like I said, my best friend did spend 90% of her day with her boyfriend, which is fair. But she still came out with us, did a couple of photos. And my problem was she changed plans, like, last minute, like the day of last minute. That was my problem, right? Anyway, but she still came out with us. She did some photos, whatever. Like, we went, where is my contour? Where's my contour? Your girl just bought some contour, actually. And I was using it, and then I was feeling myself yesterday because I was using it. But normally I don't use contour because it's annoying, and I always lose it. Ah, there it is. Anyway, so we get to the restaurant, right? And at the restaurant, we had planned to meet a couple of our other friends who were also going to prom, right? Just as a group, you know, just wanted to have some fun, do like a little dinner or whatever. We were paying for it. We all worked. And like I said, I had 2 jobs. So we were paying for it ourselves. You know, we were paying for our parents to eat and everything else. Just so that we could have this nice dinner. You know? Not something we would normally get. We were poor. Well, her family wasn't poor, but they were, I'll explain them some other time. They were poor enough. Like, they were lower middle class, right? To the point where it's like, as far as I can remember, I can't remember fully if she paid for her family. I just know that I paid for mine, right? So as far as I can remember, we all had the same, like, struggle, you know? Anyway, so we're meeting some friends up for this prom, okay? And my mom, like, flipped her fucking shit, right? And then got my sister on board, and my sister flipped. It's way too dark. Oh, well. Redoing it. Anyway, and then my sister flipped her shit. So now I've got, like, 2 psychotic bitches flipping their shit, right? And then me and my best friend go into the bathroom and start bawling, right? And if I had any angst for her still held, right? In that moment, it was gone because we were crying together. Like, it was, we're like, this is the worst day, you know? And that's what I love about my best friend. Like, we've got tons of stuff that we've gone through, you know, and we always, I don't know, at the end of the day, like, we always love each other and we're there for each other, you know? So, but anyway, so a dark moment in Chica history, if you will, but just pissed me off that my mom does those things, right? It's like, and it wasn't just like she ruined my wedding, she ruined that prom. She just thinks she's doing the right thing, and she's doing the complete opposite, right? The complete opposite of the right thing. Okay, and it pisses me off, because then she doesn't admit that it was the wrong thing. She'll never be like, hey, Autumn, I realized I was wrong to do. No, that's crazy. No, she wouldn't. No. Right? So I'll tell you the story about my wedding. Right? So my wedding, should I have gotten married to him? No, absolutely not. And everybody told me as much. I just didn't want to listen to him. I was, 19, 20, whatever the fuck, and I felt like I knew everything, and blah, 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 whatever, and we were in love, and blah, 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 you know. You get what I mean, right? Should I have married him? Absolutely not. But should she have reacted the way that she did? Also, definitely no. Okay, so my mom went to my wedding, right? And we wanted to do a wedding in Branson, because that's around where we met. We met Point Lookout, Missouri, closer to the Ozarks, whatever. Right? We both got kicked out because we were making out. Nothing else, just making out. And we got kicked out. Because that's how that college works, by the way. Extremely strict. You can get kicked out for a rumor. And the rumor started out with that him and I were having full-blown sex in the church. And then it ended out with that him and I were in, like, some 3-way in a parking lot or some fucking shit like that. So the rumor mill there will get you kicked out. So it doesn't matter. Like, we were just making out. They kicked us out. Okay, cool. No big deal. Whatever. It's been a while. I'm over it. Okay, but from the time that they kicked us out, we just had, like, a really rocky time getting with it, you know, whatever. I don't know. Doesn't matter. What matters is we wanted to marry in Branson because it's close to the place where we met, you know, and we really liked the Branson area at the time. I fucking hate it now. I don't know if it's just like my bias or what. I cannot stand driving in Branson. I don't like it. It's a big tourist trap. Everything's outrageously expensive, way overpriced, and nobody gives a shit about, like, they'll act nice to your face. They don't care. They care about the money that you bring with you. Alright, this is what pissed me off. There's a bunch of Christian places in Branson preaching, like, Christianity and doing the right thing and being God's servants, but they only care about money. And I know this because I did an interview at Silver Dollar City, who is supposedly so Christian and wholesome and just godly and whatever. And he was like, yeah, so you're going to do this and this and this to push people to pay for things. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense in any other theme park ever. But I thought this was Branson, like we're like a wholesome community, whatever. No, I thought wrong. Your girl thought wrong. And it's not, if it were just Silver Dollar City, I could chop it off to it's a theme park. What can you expect? But no, it's literally everywhere in Branson, and it pisses me off. Okay, nothing pisses me off more than how fake they are. So pissing me off. I'm like, ah. But you know, what can you expect? It's showbiz. You know what I mean? I don't know. But anyway, it pisses me off because I have like these expectations that these people actually have morals. They don't. Okay, and I wish they did. Well, I should look at a little light. We're gonna go back in. But anyway, so my mom showed up at my wedding, and because we were in Branson and we both lived 4.5 hours away from Branson, she was supposed to be our bride. We didn't have a car at this point. Like we should have been spending that money that we spent on our wedding on a car. But like, listen, we was dumb. So we didn't have a car. So she was our bride, and the reason why that didn't work out is because she got pissed off at the wedding because I told her I didn't want my brother to walk me down the aisle, right? I'm sorry. My brother has never once in his life acted like a father to me. He hasn't. So why the fuck is my older brother walking me down the aisle? My other brother, like, short of doing older brother things like beating the fuck out of any chance that he got and locking his room and being in there and playing video games, like, that's the extent of the relationship that we had. He wasn't a father to me. He never protected me. He never cared for me. He never did anything. I was like, why would he walk me down the aisle? You want somebody to walk me down the aisle? Call up my sister real quick. Have her walk me down the aisle. Okay? Because she acted way more like a mother than you ever did. You know? This is like, if you want somebody who's been there for me my entire life and who has protected me and who has loved me unconditionally, call up my sister. But guess what? She wasn't there because she was doing drugs and being homeless and all that shit. So it was like she wasn't there. Okay? So it's like, because she's not there, I'm gonna walk my fucking self. You know? I've been grounded. So that's part of the reason why I thought I was like so mature and I could definitely do it. It's because I've been taking care of myself for a long goddamn time. My mom doesn't do it. Right? She never did it. Right? And she like likes to think that she did, but she was never around. And when she was around, she was beating the fuck out of us. It's like, no, you didn't take care of us. My sister took care of us. You know, and no, Jerry didn't take care of us. He was just as much part of the problem as you were because he modeled your behaviors. Do I blame him? No. I blame you. I blame him for not getting enough therapy after you. But he's got time. He's only 29. 30. He just turned 30. How old am I? No, he's 29. I was like, he's only 29. He's got time to fix himself before he fucks up anybody else's life. You know? And that's honestly, guys, that's why I went pacifist at a young age, because I was surrounded by so much violence. People will talk about, like, oh, my siblings, you know, we got in those brawls too. Like, okay, do you have scars from it? Let me see. Because my sister has scars all over her body from it. So, tell me again about the fights that you and your siblings got into. Tell me again. No, that's terrible. Some of you do have scars, and for that, I'm sorry. Like, but once again, I went pacifist at like age 10 because I just couldn't. I just stopped hitting back. I'm not gonna lie to you. And even now, like, somebody hits me, I'll just take it. And do I recommend doing that? Absolutely not. Anyway, so my wedding. Sorry, I keep getting off track. So my wedding, and I wear these so I can drive. I know I don't like wearing glasses, but we're doing it. I'm out of contacts, so anyway, so my mom, what was I saying? What was she talking? My mom, yes, wedding, got it. So my mom literally, she drove us to the wedding place, and then was supposed to drive us home with all of our stuff that we got, whatever. She left. She did. She was mad at me for for not wanting my brother to walk me down the aisle. I let him walk me down the aisle. I did. Did I want him to? No. But I let him walk me down the aisle regardless. She was mad at me because when I came out in my other dress, I didn't dance with my brother first. That's what she was mad at me for. I was like, I didn't even know that was the expectation. I thought I was going to dance with my husband first. No, she wanted me to dance with my brother first, as if he were my dad or some fucking shit like that, right? Did not know that was the expectation, had no fucking idea. Well, because I didn't, she got pissed. She yelled at my new husband, just like absolutely went off on him, and she left and ditched us 4.5 hours away from where we lived. So that's my mom for you. That's the kind of shit that she does. And yes, I'm drinking a Yoo-hoo. They're so good. Okay, have a good day.